The moment Tyreek Hill's Dolphins career died, and his agent just handed him the exit, have you ever seen a player smile through pain and realize, in that exact moment, that something was over? That's what happened Monday night when Tyreek Hill went down with a brutal knee injury, and then somehow stood up, clapped his hands, threw punches in the air, and grinned at the crowd like nothing had happened. He later said it was just his way of dealing with the pain. But here's the truth no one's saying out loud. That wasn't a smile. That was a goodbye. And if you still had any doubt, his agent, Drew Rosenhaus, just all but confirmed it. The question isn't if Tyreek Hill has played his last game in Miami. It's when the Dolphins finally admit it. And what comes next? The injury that changed everything. Let's start with the moment that shook Hard Rock Stadium. Hill goes down. The crowd goes silent. And then he stands up, clapping, smiling, throwing punches in the air like he's hyping up a touchdown instead of fighting through what we now know was a serious knee injury. The video went viral for a reason, because it was haunting. This wasn't defiance. This wasn't toughness. This was a man who knew in that second that his season was over and maybe something bigger. The surgery went well. Sure, no nerve damage. The timeline says he'll be back by 2026. But let's be real. This isn't just about recovery. This is about what comes after. Hill is 30 years old. He's coming off a catastrophic knee injury. And his agent? Well, Drew Rosenhaus didn't just open the door for Hill's exit. He kicked it wide open. The agent's cryptic message, a negotiation or a goodbye. Rosenhaus is one of the most powerful agents in the NFL for a reason. He doesn't say anything by accident. So when he went on WSVN this week and dropped this line, he'd love to stay with the Dolphins. We'd love to find something that works for both sides. What he really meant was, we're about to ask for more money. And if Miami doesn't pay up, we're gone. Here's the cold, hard truth. Tyreek Hill has no guaranteed money left on his contract after March 1st, 2026. That's when $11 million kicks in, plus another $5 million in escalator bonuses. Rosenhaus knows this. The Dolphins know this. And Rosenhaus also knows that Miami has zero reason to pay Hill like a top 3 receiver when he's coming off a major knee injury, one that could sap the very thing that makes him special, his speed. A year older. And let's not pretend Father Time hasn't already started chipping away at his explosiveness. A locker room question mark. Remember when he publicly declared he was out last season? Remember the off-field incidents? Remember how he's never actually helped this team win a playoff game? Rosenhaus isn't stupid. He's not asking for more money because he thinks Miami will pay it. He's asking for more money because he wants Miami to say no. And when they do, that's when Hill hits free agency, and the Dolphins walk away with $30 million in cap savings. This is a negotiation. This is an exit strategy. The Dolphins' dilemma. Why keep him? Let's play devil's advocate for a second. Maybe Hill comes back in 2026 and looks like his old self. Maybe the knee holds up. Maybe he and Tua pick up right where they left off, torching defenses like it's 2023 all over again. But here's the problem. Even if that happens, what does it actually change? The Dolphins have one playoff win in the last 20 years. One. And in the 3 seasons Hill has been here, they've added 0 more. He's been incredible when he's on the field, when he's healthy, when he's engaged. But the reality? This team doesn't win because of him. And they don't lose because of him. They lose because the defense can't stop anyone, because the coaching staff can't adjust, because the front office keeps betting on the wrong pieces. So why keep Hill? The money? He's not worth $30 million when he's 31 and coming off a knee injury. The production? Even in his prime, it hasn't translated to wins. The culture? Let's just say his "I'm out" comments last year didn't exactly scream leader. And here's the kicker. The Dolphins don't need him anymore. They've got Jalen Waddle. They've got Odell Beckham Jr. If they re-sign him, they've got a young core that could use that $30 million elsewhere. Like, say, fixing that defense that's been a sieve for years. The future without Hill. Scary or smart? Now, I know what you're thinking, but Tyreek is Tyreek. You can't just replace a guy like that. You're right. You can't replace his speed. You can't replace his big play ability. But here's the thing. You don't have to, because the Dolphins' biggest problem isn't a lack of weapons. It's a lack of balance. Hill's contract is a luxury, not a necessity. And in the NFL, luxuries are the first thing to go when you're not winning. So what does the future look like without him? Cap flexibility. $30 million is a lot of money. That's a starting cornerback and a pass rusher. That's extension for young stars. That's actual pieces to build a contender. Cultural reset. Hill's antics have been fun when the team was winning. But when they're not, they're a distraction. Cutting ties sends a message. This isn't about stars. It's about winning. A chance to rebuild the right way. The Dolphins have been stuck in almost mode for years. Keeping Hill keeps them in that cycle. Letting him go, that's how you break it. And let's not forget the elephant in the room. If Hill does leave, where does he go? The Chiefs? Imagine the narrative. Tyreek returns to Kansas City for one last run. The Steelers? They've been linked to him for months. The Bills? Josh Allen would love a weapon like that. But here's the twist. If Hill walks and then thrives somewhere else, does anyone in Miami actually care? Because if the Dolphins don't win with him, what's the difference if he wins without them? The final verdict. It's overlooked, I get it. Tyreek Hill is the most exciting player the Dolphins have had in decades. He's a human highlight reel. He's the reason half the league's defensive coordinators lose sleep at night. But here's the thing about the NFL. It's not about excitement. It's about rings. And Hill, he hasn't brought Miami any closer to one. His agent is already laying the groundwork for his exit. His contract is structured for an easy out. And the Dolphins? They've got every reason in the world to take it. So no, this isn't about if Hill leaves. It's about when. And when that day comes, it won't be a surprise. It won't even be sad. It'll just be time. The question you have to ask yourself, so, Dolphins fans, here's what I want to know. If Tyreek Hill does walk in 2026, will you remember him as a guy who almost took Miami to the next level, or the guy who left them stuck in the same old cycle? And here's the bigger one. Is it smart to move on from Hill, or is it the only move left? Drop your take in the comments. And if you're ready for the Dolphins to make the tough call, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, because the offseason just got a lot more interesting. And trust me, you're not going to want to miss how this plays out.